Hey everybody, it is me. That's right, I'm back. Your favorite comic book creator's favorite comic book creator, your favorite toy collector's favorite toy collector. That's right, it's Jax. I am here again. I like that. I think I'm going to use that from now on for my regular videos. Maybe not like the one that I did earlier today or dropped earlier today that I was kind of in my feels for a while. Still am, but something to be a little bit more up on and more happy about. It's the end of the week, and the shipment of the last of the books came in with the last two covers and the reprint and a couple more copies of the A cover. The A cover I don't need to reshow because you guys have seen that. But this is the reprint of the one-shot for Welcome to Pleasant Falls. Differentiated it. I mean, it's got a different ad for the back cover. So, I mean, if you can't tell one way, then there's the Space Monkey ad in the back. And there is this guy and this ad. So the ads are all different, right? But on the cover, we've made all the typeface red. And right here, it didn't have this before. It says one shot, second print, 2025. I don't know if, there you go, you can see it. And this was white as well. So like everything on this has been adjusted. So it's very, very easy to tell that this is your second printing. And I think it actually like makes it pop. The white looked great, don't get me wrong, but like this really makes it pop and make it look even more sinister than before, which is great. Because Richard, when he read the issue, this was 2023, and he picked it up at Tucson Comic-Con, so 2 years ago, and he had pre-ordered the one shot, and and I think he came back the next day and he was just like, I think you undersold how dark this is. And I was just like, really? I don't think I did. I think I was very, very upfront about that. But, you know, this is the Tucson Terror Fest cover. And I actually, I recycled some art. I reused some art that I had done for promotional pieces. And I think they worked extremely well for these exclusives. So this was the kind of the movie poster preview that was going to be, I was going to use for Survivor's Guilt, which is the Welcome to Pleasant Falls prequel that I will be working on. But this is now the Tucson Terror Fest cover, and this will be the final, technically final cover, exclusive cover for the year, because I don't expect I'm going to be doing anything after the third weekend of October. And if so, maybe we'll do more covers, but I don't know if doing more covers is really in me at this point. I'm kind of just cruising along with the artwork, and I did this earlier in the year, or maybe even last year. It might have been last year, because the plan was to have the book done or the prequel done at this point, and now we have chapter 1, so this is kind of like the prequel preview cover of chapter 1, the Tucson Terror Fest exclusive. And then you kind of sort of saw it before, but this is the Gathering of the Ghouls. Gathering of the Ghouls was the first horror show I applied for, was put on the wait list. And then after I had already put in my order for Phoenix and Tucson and the A cover and the Horror Fest, they reached out to me like maybe a week or so later, and I was like, okay, well, let me get these shows taken care of and everything, and then we can always put this in and have it ready for Gathering of the Ghouls. But this is quite honestly like my favorite cover, and this was the first image I did of, other than the concept artwork, this is the first watercolor piece I did and you've got Brother Burger, you've got Big Cheese, and you've got Apple Pied Piper over here, kind of in a more of a what do you call it? Like more prototype. Like before, I had refined their character, but you have the hat hanging on one of the little branches off the log. And this is just, I love this image, and I'm really glad about the way I was able to pull him all the way on top, like have him breaking through, and it just gives really great motion to the cover. So the exclusives, the Gathering of the Ghouls and the Tucson Terror Fest, just like Phoenix and Tucson and Horror Fest, are all going to be $20. But if you want to get the regular A cover along with the exclusive at that event, and these won't be available for sale until Gathering of the Ghouls and Tucson Terror respectively. Anything that is left over from prior shows for those variants will be on sale as well, but we're going to do bundles where you can get the exclusive for that show and the regular cover for $25. So $20 nets you one of the variants or one of the exclusives, and then you throw in an additional $5 and you get the A cover. So if you want to have this like up and showcase somewhere or something like that, you've still got your A cover to read. And that's essentially how I did it for all the people who pre-ordered. If you pre-ordered one of the variants or the exclusives, then you ended up getting an A cover to go along with it. And so we printed a couple extra of these because we did actually, or I did have a couple of people who ordered all the variants, and because I wasn't sure if I was going to be going to Gathering of the Ghouls, and I didn't even know if Tucson Terror like would have tables, these were added as incentives for those two backers or those two pre-orders, because I had said if we get a Gathering of the Ghouls approval and I do a cover for it, I will add this to your pack. And those two packs have already been distributed, but these will get out to them as well. So for those of you who will be at these events, you've got Tucson Terror Fest and Gathering of the Ghouls. You can be coming by my table. Jax Loves Nachos. I think it's just John Anthony Chihac Soltero or Jax at Gathering of the Ghouls. I'm not sure how I'm listed for Tucson Terror, but either way, look around, you'll find me for sure. I appreciate you guys sticking with me and showing, love and, some understanding and some positive thoughts and stuff like that with the video that I dropped about how I was feeling, or how I'm still feeling, and feeling lonely and feeling kind of down about things. And there was some really positive comments, and I appreciate that, because part of me doing this is this work comes from inside my head, which is sometimes very, very darker, sad place, right? But that's where some creatives come from. Like the Bubba Patrol came from, I was propelled by my anxiety, but it came from a place of love for my dogs. And this comes from a place of love for horror. And what gives me a lot of motivation in creating, because I love horror movies and horror comics and horror books and just different facets of horror. So this comes from my love of the genre and being able to tell a story the way I want to tell it, kind of without filters and without it having to be dumbed down for anybody, and just done in my own style, in my own way. And a lot of that has to do with how I feel inside a lot of the times. And that's why it's super meaningful to me. Every project becomes the most meaningful project to me, because this is something that's a complete departure from anything I've done previously. Doing this all by myself, each of these covers, all the interiors, the writing, the lettering, everything was done by me. But thanks to some really great people who pre-ordered, and some corporate sponsors, not corporate sponsors, but advertisers. So we had Homeward Books here in Tucson, great bookstore. It's a cooperative bookstore, so it's not corporate, it's not capitalistic. Everybody who works there is part owner and puts in an immense amount of work for what they do. And they're a brand new bookstore, just opened this year at the beginning of the year, and they're doing amazing. I love their work. I love their work ethic and the things they're already doing for the community. And then, of course, Space Monkey Comics here in Tucson. The only, I think they're the only CGC authorized dealer in Tucson. And Tony and his family have been really, really good to me. They host a number of events, about 4 events every year, kind of quarterly events to coincide with the different things going on, like Free Comic Book Day, Halloween Comic Fest. There's a small business Saturday that they do, and then there's another one that they do kind of like in the first quarter of the year. It's either February or March, where they have a sidewalk sale with vendors, people selling comics, creators such as myself. He's hosted a couple of signings for me, one for the Bubba Patrol, one for Pleasant Falls as well. And so it's been really good to have my books in another shop and have people looking out for my work. It's been really, really beneficial, and I'm just very thankful. I'm also thankful for all of you guys who watch my videos and have liked and subscribed. And, you know, nothing from no one, Richard, but please don't steal my thunder like that. And if you're going to do that, please don't one-up me by printing out your like and subscribe signs to make me look bad. Anyways, guys, that was good. That gave me a good chuckle. So ending the week on kind of a high note, starting the week was a little bit difficult. But just thank you guys. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. And again, see you hopefully at some of these events. And for those of you who won't be able to get to these events, or maybe you read digital comics, like this is now available digitally. Like these covers, actually, I can get to you as well. And if you get over to my Etsy shop, which will be in the description below, there's a ton of stuff. There's even the one-shot from 2023 in this format with the red logo and everything is available on Etsy right now for just $5. So Etsy takes their cut, and I end up with about $4.07. And then you download your PDF copy of the book, and you're good to go and reading the story the way it's meant to be read. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for your support over the years, and your support with my work, and just your general interest in how I'm doing. So until next time, I'm your favorite comic book artist's favorite comic book artist, and your favorite toy collector's favorite toy collector. Take care.